Wait. It's the big day. Michelle, wake up.
What?
No time to explain. Come on.
Can you at least tell me what the big day even is?
Don't tell me you forgot. It's the season premiere of High Voltage.
Well, why didn't you tell me that before?
Coming up on this High Voltage episode,
Jaira and Miguel give us a rundown on what's hot on Disney+.
Morgan gives us an insider on some of the latest fashion trends, including Biden's inauguration fashion.
Clara shows us how to make a perfect chocolate lava cake.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Alessia Levian.
And I'm Matthew Mika, and High Voltage starts now. You know what, Alessia? I'm so tired of these old men being on these dollar bills,
Luckily, that'll be changing soon. Here's Justin to tell us about a revolutionizing change.
We all know the unfortunate history of racism and slavery that used to predominate the United States. Now, of course, this was overcome by abolition, but it wouldn't have been possible without the courageous and heroic actions of some Americans. Among them was Harriet Tubman, who is now going to receive the honor of bearing the front of the U.S. $20 bill. Harriet Tubman was an abolitionist who had been born into slavery during the 1800s. She was one of the lucky few who managed to escape. She didn't just focus on herself, however. Tubman is widely acclaimed for having led the Underground Railroad, a system of safe houses and abolitionists who cared for and transported as many slaves as they could to freedom. For these courageous and heroic actions, the Biden administration recently announced that they're working on speeding up the process of solidifying her place on the 20, which is currently faced by Andrew Jackson, 7th President of the United States. Now, of course, in the past year, we've seen a lot of conflict and need for racial progression and continued equality in our nation. So many see this as a necessary symbol of equality. The process to stamp Tubman on the $20 bill is a lengthy one, however, as we are still a few years away before it's expected to start seeing her bill in circulation. Like I mentioned before, this is a great symbol for diversity and continued progression for racial justice in our nation. Justin Torres, CBTV.
Hi, I'm Jaira Silks.
And I'm Miguel, and this is Disney Plus a Review.
WandaVision is the show to watch. Endgame left a huge hole in my Marvel-loving heart that WandaVision is slowly patching up. With a new episode every Friday, this show not only deepens the lore of the MCU, but has all the references and cute WandaVision moments we Marvel fans never got enough of.
We just don't know what to expect.
Wait, every Friday? That's a whole week. No way am I putting myself through that pain again. I'd rather watch something I can finish.
Oh really? What do you suggest?
I personally suggest The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is action-packed in every episode, along with different planets in each one. We begin to see new developments, not only to The Mandalorian, but to the whole Star Wars franchise. Since the show is finished, it's a huge bonus, so you can watch the show from start to finish without having to wait.
But doesn't the suspense make it all the more lovable?
Save the suspense. I'll stick with my Mandalorian, thank you very much.
Well, whatever you decide, those are our picks from Disney+. I'm Jaira.
And I'm Miguel, and this is Disney Plus a Review.
Oh my god, Alessia, I'm so obsessed with Steve Hartman's Everybody Has a Story segment on CBS.
Same! I think Sam did a spin-off on that, but with a student. Let's check it out.
As Steve Hartman's theory says, everyone has a story. I want to attempt to test this theory by picking a random student to do a story on. So, I've written the names of a few random students in my contacts, and I'm now going to attempt to choose one and do a story on them. Looks like we are doing Amanda Buttigieg.
If you want to read a book that doesn't exist, you have to write it.
After interviewing Amanda, I have found she has taken on an arguably daunting task during quarantine.
I'm trying to write a book. I've been trying for 5 months and we're still kind of trying to get there.
Amanda has always wanted to write a book, although she's never known where to start.
I'd always told myself that oh no, I only write short stories because I'm not good with character development and all of that. No, if you want to write a novel, just write it.
After months spent writing, she's faced a multitude of challenges that are part of crafting a great novel.
A lot of times what holds a lot of people back, or at least me, I think, is kind of the need to get it perfect on the first try. So what they say, and I do find this to be true, is just your first draft, just get it over with, just write it, and it doesn't matter how weird it sounds, because the objective is first getting it written and then getting it to make sense.
Inspiration can be tricky to come across.
It gets to a point where it's well, what the heck happens now? And you're just there I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for inspiration to strike. And then exactly 3:30 in the morning, when you're trying to sleep because you have, I don't know, a math test or something, that is when the idea decides to hit you and you're seriously? Now?
But with enough perseverance, she may just write the book she's seeking to read.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to finish this stupid thing, and then I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to get a novel.
I'm Samantha Perez, CBTV.
Being in high school, it's pretty hard to express yourself, but there is one way you can without having to say anything. By your style. I'm Morgan Haggett, I'm with CBTV, and today we're going to be talking about some of the most popular fashion styles. Starting off, we have skatecore. Skatecore is a style where you wear baggy clothing that can either be thrifted and or purchased online. Now, unfortunately, a big website where you can buy a lot of these clothes off of is called Shein, but because there are rumors surrounding child labor, other websites you can buy skatecore clothes off of is Ace, Andal, Adidas, Antihero, Antics, or just your local skate shop. The next fashion style is Y2K. Y2K tries to replicate the style from the 2000s by wearing low-rise jeans, designer logos, tiny sunglasses, and even tinier handbags. Again, you can buy a lot of these clothes off of Shein, but some alternative websites are Mercury Girl, Beautiful Clothing, 2000 Shopaholic, Peachy Wix Boutique, Dog, Yes Style, and Romwe. After that, we have indie. Now, a lot of people confuse indie with kidcore, but kidcore is wearing a whole bunch of brightly colored clothes and designs and logos from their childhood. Now, indie is short for the term independent, so a lot of the time an indie kid is wearing their own clothes that they made, or they just thrift them. The trendiest outfits worn this year have to be the ones from the inauguration, especially Bernie Sanders. With how cold it's been getting in Florida, I'm sure we all want an outfit like his. This has been Fashion. I'm Morgan Haggett, CBTV.
With the pandemic still alive and well, our country is continuing to take proper precautions for COVID-19.
Here's Lauren to give us a reminder on how to stay safe during this time.
Routine for surviving a pandemic, Wes Anderson style. Step 1, wake up. First, I check to see if my friend wrote me back. They did. Step 2, correspondence. Ever since the start of the pandemic, me and my companions have picked up new means of communication. Trading letters is one of those. Step 3, dress for the day. I have nowhere to go today, but that doesn't mean I can't dress as if I did. The only thing I would be missing is my mask, of course. Step 4, wash hands. Washing one's hands is crucial, pandemic or not. Step 5, listen to music. It's easy to grow bored fast while staying inside for the majority of your time to prevent catching an illness and contaminating everyone around you, leading to their demise. So I recommend listening to some music to pass the time. Step 6, film viewing. in order to continue keeping myself sane and do my favorite thing, watch movies. This one here is quite entertaining. Step 7. Prepare for nightfall. Repeat.
David Lynch's Eraserhead is one of my favorite films. Released in 1977 with only a budget of $10,000, the film took 5 whole years to make due to trouble with financing the film. Despite that, the film became an unexpected success in its festival run and grew a cult following. Because of this, David Lynch became known by many as one of the first mainstream surrealists. The reason Eraserhead is so good is because of its spirituality and dreamlike feel. The film follows our main character, Henry Spencer, as he deals with the stress from his girlfriend and brand new mom, and taking care of his newborn son, as well as his industrial environment. However, what separates this film from other art and surrealist films is its clear thematic anchor, which is stress, fear, and the feeling of being overwhelmed. Once it's clear that this is the ultimate essence of the film, the abstractions and beautiful artistry pierce through the screen and into the audience, allowing us to feel what Henry feels, which is stress, fear, and overwhelmed. Hence why Eraserhead is so great. It's an experience that transcends the audience into the main character's emotional state. The film isn't just within the bounds of the screen and the characters, the film is within ourselves. Eraserhead is a masterclass in portraying the human psyche. The same way we can't really describe the color blue or red is the same way we can't describe emotion and psychology. It is only through art in which we can understand these concepts, and Lynch's Eraserhead is a nightmarish masterpiece that transcends us to the world of its director. Eraserhead lives on its legacy as one of the greatest horror films of all time, and many films have been inspired by it, such as Aronofsky's Pi, Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse, and Tsukamoto's Tetsuo the Iron Man. All owe credit to Lynch's Eraserhead and its lasting influence on cinema.
After months of postponement, the Cypress Bay hockey season has finally started. Here's Jacob Horowitz, one of 3 captains on the team, to share some insight about a recent game against MSD.
The last game against Stillman Douglas was tough. It was really close, but I think once we have a few of our players back that we're missing, we should beat them. We've had 2 practices so far, and because of COVID-19, we can't really get as much ice as we want, so we've been practicing at the Western Regional roller rinks and doing as much as we can there.
With a current record being 2-2, Cypress hopes to win next time it faces off against its 2 major rivals, NBP and MSD. The team is scheduled to play at least 5 more games for the remainder of the season. Make sure to come and support Cypress hockey at the upcoming game vs Boca Raton at 7 p.m. on February 20th, Pines Ice Arena. We'll be back in a little while with an update on 2021 states and the spring hockey season. Until then, this is Mariana Ceballos, CBTV.
that's a wrap for this episode of High Voltage.
If you'd like to check out any of our future episodes on YouTube, you can check out our YouTube channel at Cypress Bay CBTV and check out all our other social medias to stay posted on what's coming up next. I'm Matthew Maycutt.
And I'm Alessia Levian. Thanks for watching.